Right, then, so I thought I'd talk you through a little bit about the different types of damp and how you sort of spot them. There's really three common types of damp. You've got penetrating damp, rising damp, and just damp that comes from condensation. Condensation is probably the most common one and probably the easiest to deal with. It's normally to do with moisture in the air, and that moisture in the air settles on the coldest walls, normally the walls on the exterior of a room, and that turns into damp. You normally get condensation build up in areas with low airflow. So if you've got a wardrobe near a wall, then the air's not moving around behind it, you get damp build up there. You normally get it if you've got single glazed windows, a lack of ventilation, no trickle vents in your windows. It's all to do with ventilation and moisture in the room settling on the colder walls. So the way to deal with that is add more ventilation, add some trickle vents to your windows, move your wardrobe a bit further away from the wall so the air can circulate and move a bit around it. Add some normal air vents, add air bricks under the floor. You know, there's different ways you can deal with it. If you're still having problems after all that, then we recommend insulating the exterior walls. You can actually buy wallpaper these days that actually has a layer of insulation on it. And you literally just wallpaper over the wall with the insulation attached to the wallpaper, and that helps somewhat. If that's not fully dealing with it, then you can actually buy plasterboard that has a layer of insulation on it, a much thicker layer of insulation, and you would literally fit plasterboard straight over the wall, again to insulate that wall and make the surface warmer so that the moisture in the air doesn't land on it and turn into water. And that's it. One of the best fixes is that insulated plasterboard. But as ever, the best fixes are always the most costly fixes. So for penetrating damp, that is when water is coming from the outside in through the surface of the exterior wall, normally down to cracks in the brickwork, deteriorated mortar between the bricks. It could be around window frames or door frames where it's not sealed properly, but normally you'd be able to have a visual inspection of the outside and look at the outside and think, oh yes, there's a hole there, there's damaged mortar there, I can fix this, I can fix that, and then that usually would solve your issue from the inside after significant drying time. Drying time of about 6 weeks, sometimes even 8 weeks for interior masonry to dry out once the external problem is fixed. For rising damp, this is damp that comes from the ground up, and it's to do, houses are built with a damp-proof course. So there's normally a damp-proof membrane or a chemical damp-proof course in the actual wall itself to stop water rising up the wall, because walls are like a sponge. Like any water in the ground will soak up, so you need that damp-proof course to stop the water soaking up into the wall that's actually in your room, so it stays at foundation level. Older properties, badly done properties, that damp-proof course can deteriorate, or I mean, if it's done in a really bad way, maybe you never even had one. Who knows? But anyway, rising damp is a common issue in this country, and it's something we're always dealing with. And the best way to deal with it is to install a damp-proof course, a chemical damp-proof course. Which actually, let me just spin you around, and I'll show you what I mean. So on this job, we're going to be. See the mortar lines between the bricks down there? You drill a hole in the mortar lines every 10 centimeters roughly, and you put a chemical into that mortar line that then, once it kind of soaks out into the mortar, and as it soaks out, it sets and it forms a new damp-proof layer. So any water that hits that line can't rise any further above it. So that's how you deal with rising damp the best way. So this is the product we recommend for doing your chemical damp-proof course. It's a brand called Dry Rod, and you can see why it's called Dry Rod, because it literally is a dry rod. Works so much easier to use than the liquid versions that kind of just spill out of the holes. This one, you just put it in the hole, leave it, and it will dissolve and permeate into the mortar as it's supposed to. Usually within about 7 days, but could take up to a month depending on the wall itself. If you have a look at our description for this video, you will see a link to another video we've done where we actually show you us installing the Dry Rod chemical damp-proof course. So if you really want to see a bit more detail about that, then check out the description and have a look at that link. We also have a link in the description for a much longer, much more detailed video about damp proofing that includes how to tank your interior walls, which is what Kia is doing now. This is also a way to not repair, but stop the symptoms of penetrating damp on your interior walls, so you can paint and decorate and not have to worry about water stains going through. But yeah, check out the video. It's quite a bit longer, quite a lot more detail, a bit more interesting to watch. I think more action, less talking. But yeah, hope you enjoy it. So that's it for this video. If you have found this, well, useful and informative, then please do give us a like. And if you'd like to see more videos of us doing various different projects and guides on how to do lots of property maintenance, then please do press the red button, the subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you on some future videos. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye bye.